everyone. As some of you know, heading out to Minneapolis, but I'm over here in Philly for the next 5 hours. So of course I wanted to be out here to cover some stuff going on. And the Amazon rally support for workers in Alabama are going on. And I figured you guys might want to be aware.
So I get to pay a whole lot of money, to defend them. Yet we have to get a public defender to defend us who doesn't have our interest. And so that's why we have to be unionized all over. And if you go to Delaware, it's a right-to-work state. Delaware is a right-to-work state. And you can thank that president that's in there right now. Because he was pro-NAFTA, and he's pro-Trans-Pacific Partnership. That's Joe Biden. That's all those Democrats too. You don't see them in Congress right now saying, oh, let's start a law that says every job has a union. Why don't they bring that up? Let's bring that up right now. Every job should have a union. Let's see if they respond. And that's the thing. That's why we don't believe in politicians. We believe in the movement of working people to change things and to move things so they move in the right direction. And we have to move in the direction where we say it's profits and it's people over profits, not profits over people. So thank you so much.
Yes, I did get it the other day, or yes, when you sent it. Thank you very much. Yeah, I should be in Minneapolis on Monday. I came into Philly and I'm basically here until 7:40 when I catch the bus out. So I wanted to see exactly what was going on, and I knew there would be stuff. And this is one of the things I saw going on, and because of all the stuff we've been doing in New York, I figured to come on out and cover this as well. Definitely share it on Facebook, because I'm not sure how this is being shared out over the last 2 days, because normally I see some types of comments going back and forth, but I'm not seeing it definitely. Let me let you get back to this. And there's a good crowd out here. I would think I was in New York actually, but thanks, Cindy.
In the spirit of Chairman Mao and the people of China and the warm solidarity they extended to NAACP member Robert Williams and his wife Mabel, the solidarity they extended to W.E.B. Du Bois and his wife Shirley Graham Du Bois, the These and many other examples
Thanks, Amelia.
are the kind of solidarity we need today. We're going to build a movement. It's going to be built on solidarity, and we're going to stand hand in hand, shoulder to shoulder, and heart to heart with our Asian friends and comrades. Is that all right? So next up, I want to bring up a comrade from the Philadelphia Black Radical Collective. They are a relatively new collective here in Philadelphia, and they have three major demands, two of them of which are to defund the police budget and to immediately cease the criminalization of Black people's resistance to oppression. So at this time, please join me in welcoming Brother Akima.
Power to the people. Power to the people. Say power to the people. You say all power to the people. Power to the people. All power to the people. Yeah, don't forget that. Don't forget that. That's why, I'm sitting over here listening to all of the speakers. When I came up on the scene and just seeing all this solidarity, I just got so excited. And just hearing everybody that spoke before me. I'm sitting over there thinking, like, I don't really have to say anything because it's been laid out, the importance of solidarity, the importance of collectivism, the importance of overthrowing capitalism. When I heard that, man, I got chills. Because we got to think, like, the current social system that exists was built on the exploitation of workers, the oppression of workers. I mean, it don't get any more exploitative than slavery, correct? It don't get any more exploitative than slavery, correct? I just want to make sure we all together. And so, if you go back in history in the founding of this colony, when this was a colony, and I want to recognize too that we on indigenous land, Mexican land, and so I want to give respect to them, the indigenous and Mexican people who had their land stolen. We got to recognize these things. That's the only way that we're going to solve all of these problems that we face as a people. So, true solidarity is solidarity with the Mexicans, indigenous people, African people, all people. That's why I said I got chills. They was like clear power, union power, Black power. I was like, I'm in the right place. I'm in the right place, right? But if you go back to the history, the founding of this colony, African indentured servants, white indentured servants, about 3/4 of the Europeans that came to this land came as slaves. Indentured servitude is slavery, no matter how you cut it, right? But they was able, 5 or 7 years, they was able to be free and go and work on some land and so forth. But in the beginning, African people, African slaves, European slaves, indentured servants understood they had an interest, a common interest, and that was to overthrow the ruling class. That was to overthrow the ruling class. And so it's important that we understand this history. If you look 1712, they was in New York. African workers, European workers was burning down buildings. We can talk about Bacon's Rebellion, and there was some contradictions with that, but Bacon's Rebellion was African workers and white people coming together to overthrow this colonial system. And so it has to be the same today. It's very important. I don't want to go too deep into a history lesson, but we just gotta really understand, even during Reconstruction, after Reconstruction, you had white workers, African workers coming together, the Populist Party and so forth. But it's going to be important for white workers to understand that y'all can't, not at the expense of African people, Black people, y'all cannot benefit at our expense. If it's solidarity today, it got to be solidarity tomorrow, no matter what. That's the only way that we're going to win. There's more of us than them. That's what we have to understand. So, that's all I want to say. I want to say, we here in support of Alabama Amazon workers, all across the world, because this is a global system that we're battling. And so the fight isn't just with Amazon, it's with all these corporations. We need a dictatorship of the working class. Power to the people.
Power to the people. Power to the people.
You heard it, power to the people!
All power to the people.
Power to the people!
All power to the people.
Now you know it, you keep that in your head, the power is with us! Now folks, we are going to be marching today to a business on
Okay, guys, I didn't know they were marching, but I'm gonna stick around for the march. Like I said, I've got until 7:40, so even if they went for like 3 hours, I'd be fine. And if they were in New York, they'd probably walk to his house over by Madison Square Park. But being here, it makes sense to go to the closest location. So it's definitely good. It's powerful. So I'm happy. And this is part of what I was hoping as I'm headed back out to Minneapolis, that I would pick up a number of things that I could cover between New York and Minneapolis, or that I could live stream this time. The first trip I basically wasn't able to cover a lot of stuff live stream wise, but more of networking and writing. So some of those news stories will be coming out soon.
Sit down and get a fair day's wages for a fair day of work. That's not too much to ask for, is it? It's about equality for everybody. We wouldn't be standing here if it wasn't for our ancestors and our fathers and grandfathers and grandmothers who died for the right of us to stand right here today. So why is it that some of us still have parties to it? Why is it that companies like Morgan and Lewis are making hand over fist? Why? Because they're making it off the back of the workers. When we all wake up, then things will get better. But until then, fists in the air, let's keep the fight. All power to the people. All power to the people. All right, we're going to keep it moving, and we're going to ask that speakers try to keep it to 3 minutes or less so we can keep the energy high and keep the program moving. Next, we have Monica Robinson from the Coalition of Labor Union Women. Welcome her as she comes up.
Hot off the presses. Just print it on the other side.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I need to channel the spirit of our Secretary of Housing today. My name is Monica Robinson, and I am a proud AFSCME union member. I'm also the Vice President of Communications
I'm
for
headed out to
Philadelphia
Minneapolis, like Fort
the
Peter
Coalition
Pan
of
here,
Labor
and my
Union
bus
Women.
isn't until 7:40. So
And we
I knew
believe a
stuff would
woman's
be going on,
place
but I said, let me
is in
do a quick
her
search, change my
union.
location. I'll just I'll walk over here, cover this.
We are here today because an injury to one is what?
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure, so
An injury to one is what?
you have a place to go.
That's
Just
right.
gotta,
It's an
give me a ring
injury
and let
to
me know you're
all.
I can't do that because
And in
you
the
guys
words
are
of
too nice.
Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King
And?
Jr.,
You need to be
an
more
injustice anywhere is a threat to
Believe me, I
justice
get accused of being an
everywhere.
asshole more than enough.
182
I get accused of being
billion
an asshole more than I get
dollars.
accused of being a cop.
Yeah.
That's what Jeff
I know that
Bezos is
feeling.
worth. $182 billion. His workers in Bessemer, Alabama make nearly $3 less than the median income in the area.
Yeah, definitely. If woke can put it out, definitely do that.
We do not have an income inequality
Because there are a lot of
crisis in America.
Amazon actions going on.
Amazon is concerned about employees making rates, but what they need to do is make things right.
Yes, right.
All labor has dignity, and Alabama Amazon workers deserve better.
Yes, you're back.
These workers are doing the necessary work to address the income inequality crisis, and we stand in solidarity with them. are terrible operating tactics that cause employees to be disciplined or fired for moving too slow. Amazon, make things right. It is not unreasonable for Bessemer, Alabama workers to want to rest more. It is not unreasonable to want to be treated like human beings. And it is not unreasonable to want to make a living wage. Jennifer Bates, a Bessemer, Alabama Amazon worker, recently testified at the Senate Budget Committee hearing, and she said this: "We want to create a company that is as good for workers in the community as it is for the shareholders and executives." And in solidarity, we say with her, Amazon, make things right. Alabama Bessemer workers, hold Amazon accountable. Please vote union yes. Solidarity forever.
Okay, I'm gonna move around also because I don't know how much power I have, and I want to make sure to cover their march also. I'd say any of you guys go ahead and tag the New York counterpart groups about this. Solidarity Alternative organization, as well as others, Workers World. So at least I ran into one person. I'm pretty sure there's a couple of other people I know down here. It's just filtering through. It's easier when I'm in New York because, yeah, even with the masks, it's recognizing people you know is a lot easier just from every single day. But anyone watching in Philly, near the downtown area, definitely come on down. Join in solidarity with these folks. You know, it's the same call I put out when I'm in New York and doing actions. If you're in the area, come on down, join in solidarity. They're going to be here at least for another 10 minutes before they march. You still have time, even if you can only come out for, 15 minutes. It's just making that effort.
And the winner of 20 into 21. And I can tell you something that was the common denominator of all the patients who came into that hospital. All the press and the statisticians and the epidemiologists, they love to talk about numbers. They don't talk about patients. They talk about numbers. Oh yeah, they say the communities of color were hit the hardest, and the elderly had worse incomes. The truth is, this was a pandemic that hit the working class the hardest. I was on the front line, and I can tell you, every patient that came in the spring was either an essential front care worker or a family member of an essential front worker. We took care of the bus drivers, the bodega owners, the cops, the firemen. We took care of a Walmart greeter, 21 years old. And as long as I live, I will never forget watching that worker fight for his life and lose that battle at 21 years old. We did everything we could for that poor boy. I talked to his mother and father on the phone on a daily basis, but he waited too long. sacrificed his life for his job. And I wonder today, if the Walton family, what thinks about him? The corporate elite in this country, the 1%ers, are they thinking at all about all these workers who lost their lives in the COVID-19 pandemic? Nope. They're not thinking about their mothers. They're not thinking about those workers' fathers or their children. They're not thinking about the hopes and the dreams and the plans of those workers. They don't even look at them as human beings anymore. And that's why nobody talks about the worker in this country that suffered from COVID-19. Because they don't even look at us like people anymore. We're nothing but resources to the Jeff Bezos and the Morgan Lewises of the world. We're resources. We're not people anymore. Amazon workers all over the world struggled through this pandemic while Jeff Bezos and his corporate cronies, they raked in billions. $10 billion in one day. You know how much money that is? $10 billion in one day. And they ignored the social distance rules. They provided substandard PPE. And they unashamedly tried to broker a deal with the Congress to let them off the hook so they wouldn't be responsible for the workers who died in their factories. What kind of people are they? What makes them tick? It's so hard for me to understand. But I guess profit trumps people. No pun intended. I don't know what kind of deal they make with the devil. But right now, this time in American history is the time to say no more to capitalism. Every worker in this country has the right to collectively bargain for their wages, their benefits, and most importantly, their working conditions. If this country doesn't understand that after thousands of workers died from COVID exposure at work, when will they? At no point in our history, no point in labor history is this more important. We gotta fight for workers' rights right now. We gotta stop this trade. We gotta show these greedy leeches that we are sick and tired of the income inequality that they buy nothing from Amazon. No matter how convenient it is, just say no. Before they purchase their 5th or 6th yacht, all workers in America deserve a good paying job with safe working conditions, free health care, and good education. And most importantly, a shot at the American dream that they love to talk about. American workers to take it back, and most importantly, Bessemer, Alabama workers. We must support union workers and union organizing all over the world. To the Amazon workers in Alabama, you may think you're fighting for your own rights at your warehouse, and you are. But this organizing effort is reverberating everywhere on this planet. Your efforts can change the course of history for the working class. Vote yes. Claim that seat at the table. The nurses from Temple University Hospital Nurses Association are in solidarity with you. Our nurses across the state, solidarity to Bessemer, Alabama.
You let the nurses go up here. action and a workers' assembly to keep this momentum going. We can't just mobilize every 6 months and think that's enough. We need to organize. So, going around right now, we have a couple of our friends with clipboards signing people up. Sign up to join the workers' assembly in Philadelphia. Our clipboard folks, Jim and Diana, hold up the clipboards, find them, sign up, and let's get it started. Next, it is my sincere pleasure to bring up one of the fighting Union Philly members, Richard Hooker.
Good afternoon, how's everybody doing? Come on, you guys can make some noise, how's everybody doing? Awesome. My name is Richard Hooker Jr. I am the Secretary Treasurer and Principal Officer of Teamsters Local 623. Man, it is good to see all of you. Come on, let's make some noise. So, one of my favorite quotes is, anywhere there's people, there's power. And what we see out here is a lot of power.
Hey, David.
What we want to deliver for our workers at Alabama is power. For the last 16, 17 months, we've been in this pandemic. And the one thing that has been a consistent...
Yeah, David, I'm like on a 5-hour layover in Philadelphia. I came in from New York, here for 5 hours, and then 7:40 catch a bus out to Chicago, and from Chicago to Minneapolis. And I'll be in Minneapolis on Monday. But since I had 5 hours, I knew stuff was going on. I just did a quick search, and since I didn't cover the Amazon protests in New York, when I saw this, it just made sense for me to fill the time with that, which is basically what I want to do on this trip. So that's why I'm out here right now. Well, when I was going through last Thursday, I wasn't in New York for the Stonewall March, which is every Thursday, but I thought it would be a good idea to start a Thursday march in Philly, considering all the people that are out. So I'm gonna reach out to a few folks that I know, and then go from there. DC does its own stuff, but yeah, it's just something I think should happen.
Incident that happens, and when there's trauma that happens in
ensure that they are safe, to ensure and safety. Violence is not only about being attacked with guns. Poverty is a form of violence. Homelessness is a form of violence. Lack of health care is a form of violence. These are the violences that lead to the conditions that bring about the more extreme kinds of violence that we see when individuals are getting gunned down in the street by these pigs that try to prevent the insurrection of the people and to the benefit of these wealthy landowners and these wealthy business owners. Trump now, the power is in the people, the land belongs to the people. We are one. Black Lives Matter.
She's a powerful speaker.
When I say union, you say power. Union, power. Union, power. When I say worker, you say power. Worker, power. Worker, power. Worker, power. Worker, power.
Next up, we have another comrade, and I'm very, very happy to see so many union members out here today. This is what a movement looks like. This is how we're going to have solidarity, bringing together all of these unions. All of these unions. So next up is our comrade and friend, John Wooden. He's with United Academics of Philadelphia. He's also an adjunct professor at the University of the Arts. And he is in another union that is also fighting this notorious Morgan and Lewis. So join me in welcoming John Wooden.
At least according to the bus ticket, when I leave here, the next full stop I know for sure is Chicago. But I know I have a stop in Columbus, Ohio. I'm not sure how long the layover is there or any of the other places in between. So it's Philadelphia to Columbus, Ohio, I believe, to Chicago. And then in Chicago, I think, for a few hours, and then the bus from there to Minneapolis. So as I'm heading into Chicago, I'm going to check with some people that go back to like the NATO protests there and stuff, and see if, what might be going on that I might be able to cover for a quick hour or two. Columbus, I know there's stuff going on, I just don't know it offhand. I didn't know about this until I actually changed the settings to see what events on Facebook. If it's in New York, I can always go Justice for George. On Instagram, I can always go New York City protests and pull up the stuff there, as well as Facebook, as well as the emails and stuff. But here, it just seemed the simplest way. And there was no way I could travel too far out, so the idea of this being down here, when they're done with this, I am going to see if anything else is going on and try to cover that. Bear with me a second, I'm going to get a charger.
If that's true, how do other universities still offer part-time faculty health care benefits? How is that other universities can offer their part-timers? Anyone know? Any idea at all? He's a liar, yeah. I got no question, but the answer is that those universities have faculty who belong to a union. If you belong to a union, You can be a part-timer and still get health care. So, after I figured that out, I spent 3 years having one-on-one conversations with other faculty, and we built the power to form a union. Last Labor Day, we filed for a
I'm at like 50%, but I just don't want this going dead on me as the march is going on or something.
So today, we are currently negotiating our very first contract. And today, we stand right in front of a law firm that my university administration chose to fight against its faculty. Now, my university administration could have chosen their in-house counsel to negotiate our contract, but they chose Morgan and Lewis. Why is that? My little administration chose the biggest, nastiest, union-busting law firm in the entire country to fight against its workers. My little university administration...
Someone do research on Morgan and Lewis, or send me a message to remind me the name later on.
My little university administration chose the same law firm that served as a tax counsel to the Trump organization since 2005. My little university administration chose the same law firm that the richest man in the world chose to fight against his workers in Alabama, and that is disgusting. So today, standing here, I understand
Morgan and Lewis.
these walls are trying to fight against workers' rights. Today,
From what he was saying, it's the same law firm that I guess the university chose to fight the union, and it's also the same law firm that the university chose to fight the union, unionizing. But also, he mentioned it's also the same law firm that has been handling the taxes for Trump since 2011, 2001, something like that. So if you could just send me a message so I'll remember, because they may not go through the live stream. They're getting ready to march now. Now I'm in my natural element. Unless I'm in the street, I don't think I'm actually in a natural environment any longer.
No justice! No justice! No justice! No justice!
Support Amazon union, fight racism and union busting, solidarity with the Amazon workers. And I love the huge puppet there, or a cutout union buster and thief and chief, Jeff Bezos. That would be nice to actually deliver to his home, actually, because he does have a place by Madison Square Park. I believe it's 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th. Yeah, 26th and 6th, or 26th and 5th. He has a home there, which a number of actions have taken place outside of his home, so would be nice. Well, in DC for sure. Most of the stuff in Philly is groups that have sister organizations here in Philly, which for a number of things have come out for. Also for Sherry with the Poor People's Army, Poor People's Economic Human Rights Campaign, which is out here in Philadelphia. So it's no peace. No peace.
If we don't get it,
Down.
if we don't get it,
Shut it down.
if we don't get it,
Shut it down.
who's streets? Who's streets? Who's streets? Who's streets? Don't be shy, Philadelphia. Take the middle lanes. Let's get this banner and Bezos on either side of the truck.
So this is what I love. This is the way it should be.
Who's streets? Who's streets? Who's streets? Who's streets? These are our streets, Philadelphia. Don't be shy. These cars won't run you down. We'll make sure of it. Who's streets? Who's streets? Who's streets? Who's streets?
Our streets!
Who's streets?
Our streets!
When workers are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
When workers are under attack, what do we do? When workers are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
What do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
What do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
Who's streets? Who's streets? Who's streets? Who's streets? Who's streets? When I say union, you say power. Union,
Power!
union.
Power!
When I say worker, you say power. Worker, worker. When I say union, you say power. Union, union. Black Lives Matter. 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 What's disgusting? Union busting. What's disgusting? What's disgusting? What's disgusting? What's disgusting? What's outrageous? Amazon wages. What's outrageous? What's outrageous? What's outrageous? Who's streets? Who's streets?
Our streets!
Who's streets?
Our streets!
Who's streets?
Our streets!
Who's streets? Who's streets?
Our streets!
When workers are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
When workers are under attack, what do we do? When unions are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
When unions are under attack, what do we do? When workers are under attack, what do we do? When workers are under attack, what do we do? When black folks are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
When black folks are under attack, what do we do? When Asian families under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
When Asian families under attack, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? Who's streets? Who's streets? Who's streets? Who's streets? Who's streets? Who's streets?
say union, you say power. Union, union. When I say union, you say power. Union, union. When I say worker, you say power. Worker, worker. When I say worker, you say power. Worker, worker. When I say black, you say power. Black, black. When I say Asian, you say power. Asian, Asian.
Power.
When I say migrant, you say power. Migrant,
Power.
migrant. When I say union, you say power. Union, union. When I say Asian, you say power. Asian, Asian. When I say worker, say power. Worker, 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 worker. Make some noise, Philadelphia! Let them hear you down in Bessemer, Alabama! Let them hear you down in Haiti! Let them hear you in Palestine!
Hell yes!
Let them hear you in Iraq!
Hey!
Let them hear you in Puerto Rico!
Solidarity!
When I say worker, you say
I'm only hovering towards the back because I don't like when police cars end up getting that close. Yeah, I already know. So basically I'm looking at the distance that these guys have between their cars and the others. Curious as to... So, X16. I'm not here actually to do cop watch, but when I hear sirens going, I have to keep an eye on it.
Black workers power! 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 Black workers
Hey, Greg.
Black worker power!
Oh, if someone can share it over to Workers World in New York City,
Black worker power! Black
I'll do it later if not, but it just would be easier.
Black worker power! Black worker power! Black worker power! Black worker power! All workers power! All worker power! All worker power! What's disgusting? What's disgusting? What's disgusting? What's outrageous? What's outrageous? What's outrageous? When they win, we win. They win, we win. When they win,
Green Party's out. I actually don't know about the fences in DC. I would think they took down a portion of them after everything. But I haven't been through DC for a while.
Get down! Philly is a union town, get up! Get down! Philly is a union town. Get up, get down. Philly is a union town. Get up, get down. Philly is a union town.
Get down.
Philly is a union town. Get up, get down.
Hey, Adam.
Union town.
Yeah, besides covering the stuff, which I love doing, the other aspect is with Occupy Wall Street, I was with, and still am, the Outreach Working Group, and I've basically kept that. That's one of the reasons why consistently over time just so many people recognized me, just because I just kept continuing on. So even when I'm doing stuff like this, it's basically thinking of ways that things can be done in solidarity between Philly, New York, DC, New York, other locations. Just to show unity and strength among the people, in essence. realizing there's a lot of even the downtown area in Philly I've never been through. And I'm seeing that now. I've been to the outskirts. I've been downtown areas because of the DNC, as well as a bunch of other things. But I've actually never gone down this area. Beauty is they are getting the attention of people around, and that's part of the idea of any march, is to create awareness from those around so that later tonight, tomorrow, they may discuss it at their dining room table, may see what's going on, and end up joining in solidarity at some point. Oh, don't forget to share it on some of the union pages. I'll do that for New York. But if you're part of any of the union groups on Facebook or something, share it over there as well. And if you are on any of the pages in New York, 32 BJ, 1199, National Nurses United. So happening live right here in Philadelphia. Community coming together in support of the Amazon workers in Alabama, workers all over the world, but specifically for the workers in Alabama. So if you hear chanting outside, this is what it's about. And at least the energy is picking up. Yeah, I got a feeling I'm gonna have to add a bunch of different tags once the stream is over. Because I'm figuring even the groups in New York that didn't know about this march might want to plug in and do something in solidarity. Definitely no justice, no peace. Okay, any of you that follow me on Twitter, I know it's going through Periscope out on the Twitter as well. If you want to go ahead and retweet any of that, please do. Support Alabama Amazon. union, support black Amazon workers, hashtag support Amazon workers, support black Amazon workers, hashtag Amazon union now, and black workers matter. Just suggestions. Feel free to, use what hashtags,
Black workers matter. 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 Black workers matter.
And the only reason I'm on the sidewalk is so I get a better scope of it.
United will never be defeated. The people 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 united will never be defeated. United will never be defeated.
No justice! No justice! No justice!
No peace.
No justice!
No peace.
Full strength! Full strength!
Our street.
Full strength!
Our street.
Full strength!
Our street.
Full strength!
And it's actually pretty warm out here. And when I left New York, it was still
No justice!
chilly.
No justice!
So it's turned into a nice day.
Justice!
No peace.
Full strength!
Our street.
Full strength!
Our street.
Full strength!
Our street.
Full strength!
Our street.
What's disgusting?
Union busting.
What's disgusting?
Union busting.
What's outrageous?
Amazon wages.
What's outrageous?
Amazon wages.
What's disgusting?
Union busting.
What's disgusting?
Union busting.
What's outrageous?
Amazon wages.
What's outrageous?
Amazon wages.
That's
Senator Sanders.
Solidarity forever.
Black workers matter.
What's disgusting?
Black workers matter.
Black workers matter.
Black workers matter.
Black workers matter.
Black workers matter. Black workers matter. Black workers matter. Black workers matter. Unhoused folks are under attack. What do we do? Stand up like that. Unhoused folks are under attack. What do we do? Stand up like that. Unhoused folks are under attack. What do we do? Stand up like that. What do we do? Stand up like that.
What do we do? Full strength. Full strength. Full strength. Full strength. Aliens and unions now get up. Get down. You see Susie? Aliens and unions now get up. Aliens and unions now get up. Get down. Woo woo. Get down.
Union busting.
from the outreach labor group with Occupy. A lot of old union people that had been around in the old days. That was one of the things about top management. And some of the major large unions, there needs to be a change. But workers definitely need to organize more and not be pulled by the larger groups on the political spectrum. A lot of times they'll not look out 100% for the actual workers. But grassroots like this, it actually is about the workers. So that's in relationship to the large unions.
Alabama, facing repression and union-busting tactics from the union-busting law firm Morgan Lewis. Boo! Boo, Morgan Lewis! Boo! Getting paid $1,000 an hour, but trying to stop workers from making $15 an hour. Unacceptable. Boo! Boo!
Whose streets?
Our streets.
Whose streets?
Our streets.
What's disgusting?
Union busting.
What's outrageous?
Amazon wages.
What's disgusting?
Union busting.
What's outrageous?
Amazon wages.
What's disgusting?
Union busting.
What's outrageous?
Amazon wages.
Philadelphia, you know why we're out here today? In solidarity with the workers down in Bessemer, Alabama, who are engaging in a historic struggle to unionize the richest corporation in human history. Today is an international day of solidarity with the Amazon workers. We have demonstrations today in Philly. We have demonstrations in over 50 cities around the world. And now it is my great pleasure to introduce my dear friend, my dear comrade, Susan Abuhawa.
Hi, comrades. I am here to bring revolutionary greetings and solidarity from Palestine and the Palestinian diaspora to all of our comrades in struggle. We stand in solidarity with all people in struggle against racism and exploitation. In particular, today, I want to express solidarity with our Asian American brothers and sisters. Palestinian labor, prisoner solidarity, feminist, and youth organizations have endorsed this action today. We understand that our fate is bound with the fate of the oppressed and the exploited everywhere. And our liberation cannot be realized without yours. Whether it's labor struggle, prison and police abolition, imperial wars, colonial projects, internal and external racist structures, class, ethnic, religious, or racial supremacy, our liberations are linked, and so must our struggles be linked. I want to salute the Bessemer Amazon warehouse workers for leading the way. It is our duty and our privilege to support them. It is our duty and our privilege to ensure they prevail. It is our duty and our privilege to continue their fight for workers everywhere, for the right to unionize, for the right to keep the fruits of their own labor and not have it stolen by a handful of people in the world for whom no amount of wealth is ever enough. Those who accumulate such obscene material wealth off the backs, sweat, and tears of workers are morally deranged human aberrations. It is our duty and our privilege to bring them down and return the wealth they've stolen back to the workers and to the rightful keepers. Amazon workers kept this whole country fed and functioning during the pandemic when everything else closed down. So we understand that if Amazon workers decide to stop, this entire country will come to a screeching halt. It won't be Bezos or his billionaire cronies who are filling orders and delivering them. Bezos is pointless in the world. He contributes nothing. He simply built a system that extracts money, labor, and resources to make them flow to him. For anyone who thinks that Amazon exists because Jeff Bezos created it, you couldn't be more wrong. The technology of his platform is predicated on decades and decades of incremental accumulation of publicly funded scientific and technological discovery. Then the implementation and the expansion of that platform emerged from the labor of thousands of workers and the participation of the public. Jeff Bezos did nothing to deserve the wealth he has. The system itself is corrupted in favor of the ruling capitalist class. Everything he has should be taken and redistributed to the workers who made it possible. Amazon belongs to its workers, and it is our duty and our privilege to stand behind them as they lay claim to the fruits of their own labor. Free Palestine, free political prisoners, free Mumia, build a workers' world.
Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
Okay, guys, it's getting a little hot, so bear with me a minute.
Palestine will be free! Palestine will be free! Philadelphia, do you think they hear us down in Bessemer, Alabama? Do they hear us in Palestine today? It is now my pleasure to introduce our next speaker, Mary Stricker.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mary Stricker, and I'm a faculty member at Temple University and a proud member of my union, the Temple Association of University Professionals, Local 4531. We at TAUP stand in strong support of the Bessemer, Alabama Amazon workers in their struggle to unionize, and we can't wait until those votes finish coming in on March 29th, and we can celebrate this historic victory, which will not only be a huge win for those workers, but for the thousands upon thousands of additional Amazon workers who will feel the strength of their efforts. Obviously, Jeff Bezos is an easy and an important target of our ire and our disgust. As Bernie Sanders noted, Bezos has become a symbol of the unfettered capitalism that we are living under right now, when the very, very rich are doing phenomenally well, while ordinary working people are struggling to put food on the table. But he is not the only one that stands in the way of our livelihoods, our safety, and our dignity. Unfortunately, there are so many more who unapologetically profit off of our exploitation. And so I just want to tell you very quickly what's happening at Temple University. Currently, the Temple administration has told all colleges they must make a 5% cut, which of course means that come after those of us in contingent faculty positions. They cut the adjunct faculty, many of whom are barely scraping by as it is, and now they come for the full-time non-tenured faculty as our short-term contracts run out. At the same time, Temple is thanking us for how wonderfully we have handled the transition to virtual teaching and learning, and praising us for our dedication to our students. At the same time, they made $163 million in profits last year and a large return on their $1.6 billion investment portfolio, yet they demand cuts that will greatly affect Temple's educational mission, not to mention the livelihoods of members and our families. Well, just like the Bessemer, Alabama Amazon workers, we are fighting back and demanding that Temple prioritize education and humanity over profit. We demand that they stop manufacturing a financial crisis that doesn't exist. We will not stand by when any worker is being denied the right to organize or the right to simply live when the very, very rich not only continue to do phenomenally well, but do better on our backs, on the backs of workers that are making them their unprecedented wealth. So as we at Temple fight for our rights to put food and dignity on our tables, we stand in firm solidarity with our Amazon brothers, sisters, and non-binary workers as we fight against those who seek to deny our very humanity. Union, yes, all power to the people. Thank you.
All right, comrades and friends, real quickly, our comrades from Philly Socialists send their solidarity and greetings, but they could not be here today. Our next speaker, I'm very happy to introduce. Our next speaker is a member of the Party for Socialism and Liberation, and he's also a worker at Amazon. Please join me in welcoming Richie Brown.
How's everyone? So I'm going to make a lot of points that have been made by a lot of great speakers today. So I want to thank them all. Like I said, I'm from the Party for Socialism and Liberation here in Philly. I'm also part of Amazonians United, who are working to unionize branches all over in New Jersey and in Philadelphia. I want to thank everyone for being here and showing solidarity to the workers not only in Amazon but all over the country. We all know what it is to work 40 hours grinding away from our friends, away from our families, away from things we want to do, just so we can make someone else disgustingly rich and then come back and tell us what we can and cannot fight for. Well, what they're doing in Bessemer, Alabama is fighting for the right to decide what to do with their labor, what to do with all the fruits of their labor, basically. For the ability to have a voice and be heard, for a fair cut of the billions of dollars they make off of our backs. Amazon is so scared of a couple warehouse workers in Alabama, they're sending a $2.3 billion a year firm after them. And the firm that's worked with McDonald's, Amazon, and even the Trump Corporation. Amazon puts more efforts into stopping unionizations, stopping collective bargaining, than they do to pay their workers a fair wage, than they do to give their workers health care. While working at Amazon, I saw multiple workers complain, have health care problems, develop carpal tunnel, not being able to meet quotas, and Amazon would force them either to go home, to quit, to get fired, or to go to their doctor so they can send them right back to work. I've seen it countless and countless times. This corporation is a soulless corporation. These struggles aren't unique to Amazon. These struggles are unique to all of our workplaces in a different way, especially if we work for a major corporation. What they're doing in Bessemer, Alabama right now is not fighting for just themselves, but for everyone. The workers at Bessemer and all of us are saying right now, loud and clear, that we know our worth. We know that we have the right to demand better working conditions, and we have the power to demand what is owed to us. So with that said, fuck Amazon, fuck Bezos, fuck the billionaire class, fuck Whole Foods, and all power to the people.
All right, so we're going to keep it moving. All right, we're going to ask our speakers to try to keep it to 2 minutes so that we can keep the program moving. But our next speaker, we're welcoming up Hillary Kane. She has been with the Green Party since 2000, and she's had multiple leadership positions within the Green Party. Welcome her as she comes out. Thank you.
today's march and rally and for allowing me to speak. I represent the Green Party, an independent political party. The Green Party often co-sponsors rallies such as these, joining in the fight for better working conditions. But we rarely get invited to share the podium because of deep-seated fears of independent politics. Politics that doesn't go along with the status quo, the two-party system, or let's be real, in this city, a one-party system. You may know the Green Party as an environmental party, and we are. But we're also a party deeply rooted in social justice. We were founded over 30 years ago to give political voice to people's movements, like this one against corporate greed that is killing both the planet and the people. The Green Party links the ecological crisis with the economic crisis, the one of people not having enough to provide their basic necessities for themselves and their families. This is why we developed ideas like the Green New Deal, putting people and planet together over profit, putting people to work in living wages, jobs that repair and restore our environment rather than use it up and spit it out. Howie Hawkins, our most recent presidential candidate, and himself a retired Teamster, was the first to run on the Green New Deal back in 2010. The real Green New Deal, funded by deep cuts to the military. The Green Party is an eco-socialist party. For us, that means things like supporting unions, worker ownership, cooperatives, and other forms of economic democracy. We practice what we preach. Our own national party staff is unionized, and we are the only ballot-qualified party that refuses to take corporate money. Some other parties may talk a good talk. Let's be real, and some of the time they only talk that talk some of the time. But then they turn around and they take millions of dollars in corporate contributions to fund their campaigns. Don't be fooled. You cannot stand for workers' rights one day and then take money from union-busting corporations the next. How do you think those politicians will ultimately vote? For the people or for their funders? The Green Party will only ever stand for the people because we are the people. We have no choice. As an environmental party, we're also one of the few voices who don't believe in constant, unchecked economic growth. Development without redistribution will not lift all boats. And yet, only 2 short years ago, when Amazon promised jobs and development through its HQ2 competitions, our city, led by a Democratic mayor and a Democratic city council, happily bid to make Philadelphia the next home for Amazon. A bid that included tax breaks, free public infrastructure, and other corporate welfare, simply to woo this company into our midst. This is why political independence matters, and the Green Party takes that seriously. We are one of the only political parties, and I think the only ballot-qualified party, that consistently and constantly challenges the two-party system. At all levels of government, from City Hall to the State House to the White House. The union movement needs allies in government. We need laws that protect workers and their right to organize. And we achieve that by electing our own into the halls of power. Power. As other people have said today, that's what this struggle is all about. The power to demand dignity in the workplace and to one day achieve it. Amazon workers, the Green Party stands with you.
Get up! Get down! Philly is a union town! Get up! Get down! Philly is a union town! Next up, we're gonna hear Zeb from Socialist Alternative. You heard him on the mic earlier on the march. Now let's go, let's go, let's go. You heard him leading the chants. Give him up. All right, let me hear you one more time. When unions are under attack, what do we do? Said, what do we do? Said, what do we do? That's right. My name is Zev. I'm a member of Socialist Alternative, and we stand in solidarity with nearly 6,000 Amazon warehouse workers in Bessemer, Alabama. The union drive in Bessemer has the potential to kick off a new era of union organizing in the United States. Labor needs to go all out to seize the time to organize the South and unionize Amazon facilities across the entire U.S. I can't hear you. Make some noise. That's more like it.
This union organizing campaign is setting a positive example for the entire labor movement by wholly and unapologetically embracing the idea that Black Lives Matter. A massive change is happening in Bessemer and all across the country. Working people are seeing through the corporate strategies to placate BLM and other social movements like it. We stand here in front of this Whole Foods, owned by Amazon, which likes to think of itself as a sort of hip and woke employer, but an employer that has nonetheless viciously resisted any attempts by its workers to organize for on-the-job safety while a global pandemic ripped through our city. We just want to say to everybody working in this store that we love you, and we thank you for keeping things going. We thank you for keeping the shelves stocked and for the grocery deliveries coming during this past year of pandemic. We could not have possibly come this far without you. So if you need anything, let us know. We always got your back. I don't think they can hear you in there. Come on! Amazon and other big businesses think that they can buy our city, buy our politicians, and control our lives for their own profit. This is not just a fight for a union. It's a battle for the working class soul of our wonderful city. In Seattle, Amazon is trying to take down the sole elected socialist on city council, Shama Sawan. Why, do you ask? Because her council seat and her organization, Socialist Alternative, have built a working class movement that led the way to win the first $15 minimum wage in the country and a $500 million tax on Amazon and big business. If they are successful there, you can be damn sure that anybody who stands in their way is going to be next on their list. Cooperation and solidarity are the only ways that working people can defeat both racism and bad working conditions, and the workers are now learning exactly that from their experiences. A victory for the Amazon workers would be a victory for the entire working class and for Black people in particular. Building a united movement does not mean that the demands of Black and brown workers should be drowned in basic economic demands. It means instead that the broader working class needs to take up those demands of Black and brown workers. What we need to do is we need to build unity, which will be needed to win the battles ahead and will require the building of a labor movement committed to fighting for economic demands alongside demands against racist policing, segregationist policies in housing and education, and against white supremacists and vigilante violence against communities of color around the world. That's right, so let's get out there. Let's build a multiracial, multi-gendered, multi-generational movement to tear down this rotten capitalist system and build a new socialist world where every single one of us can breathe freely. Solidarity.
Comrades, next up we have our comrade and friend John Kane with Socialist Resurgence. Socialist Resurgence is a national organization of activists here in the United States committed to the interests of workers and the oppressed and the creation of a socialist world in which society is organized according to the needs of working people rather than profit. Welcome, John Kane.
This far, I might as well not go see
is the sisters. Been a union member and a socialist activist for more than 40 years. It's been 150 years since the Paris Commune, the first working class revolution in the world. It's been 18 years yesterday that U.S. imperialism and its allies unleashed a bloody and awful occupation and war on the people of Iraq. Last year, the historic anti-racist rebellion shook the foundations of this white supremacist system. For the past 40 years, working people in the United States and worldwide have been subjected to a one-sided class war against our unions and our standards of living. This pandemic exposed the ruling class for what they are. The rich and the powerful do not care about the rest of us. Millions are unemployed, face food insecurity and the threat of eviction, but the billionaires got bailed out. We need jobs at good wages, housing and health care, but the bosses' parties serve their masters on Wall Street, not us. We need to fight back against the looming climate crisis, and you know that the capitalists will try to make working people and the oppressed bear the burden. The Amazon workers in Alabama are showing us the way forward. It's time for the working class and the oppressed to fight back and win. It is time to organize Amazon and the South. It's time to rebuild democratic fighting unions. And it's time to build an independent working class party that fights for all the oppressed and exploited. When we fight, we win. 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 Free Mumia and all political prisoners.
All right, guys, all right. We have our last speaker coming up, right? Scott is one of the primary organizers behind today's event. He's with Workers' World. Give him a very, very loud welcome as he comes to the stage.
Black workers matter! Black workers matter! Black workers matter! Comrades and friends, I just want to say thank you to every single organization who co-signed, who endorsed, who supported this action, who supported this entire movement. Give yourselves a round of applause. We are here together. I want to say in particular to all the various parts of the left movement, you don't see this every day, that unions and the left are united together in solidarity with black workers in the South organizing. That doesn't happen very often. Let's be serious. What is happening is obviously historic. And because of how critical it is to the future of the labor movement, we have decided to come together. This experience has caused us to unite. But we have to seriously rethink the future. We need a realignment of the left in a really serious way to think about how we can build more unity and more solidarity. The fact that we come together once a year for one kind of rally is not enough. We need to think about how we can continue to work on projects like this together, because no one single organization is strong enough. We need each other, and we need to support these incredible struggles like this. So I just want to say, we're having a follow-up meeting to this work on Thursday at 6 p.m. next week. We want to debrief, how did this action go? How did you feel? Clearly we had a lot of speakers. We're going to get some good feedback. We need to improve the damn sound system. We know that. But we're going to have a meeting next week, and we want to talk about what's the future of solidarity in the city of Philadelphia. How can we build more working class solidarity? What does that look like? What does that mean? We encourage our organizations to bring ideas. We're going to bring ideas. We think we need a workers' assembly. We think May 1st, we need to get together and have a massive rally and march and shut shit down for black workers, for workers all over the world. All I'm here to say is that thank you all for being a part of this, but don't let it stop here. We need to see a lot more of each other, because frankly, the workers in Amazon, the workers all over the world, they need us to be united in solidarity. So let's keep it going. Long live this struggle and solidarity with the Bessemer, Alabama workers. Let me hear you say union! All right, comrades, let's smash fucking Jeff Bezos' face. Let's do it.
One of my favorite songs. For a speech.
All right, first step, we're gonna have our man John take the first cracks at this billionaire Bezos.
You will not be able to lose yourself on Skag and skip out for beer during commercials because the revolution will not be televised.
Yeah!
The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be brought to you by Xerox in 4 parts without commercials.
All right, John.
The revolution will not show you pictures of Nixon blowing a bugle and leading a charge by John Mitchell, General Abrams, and Spyro Agnew to eat hog maws confiscated from the Harlem section.
Oh yeah! Give him hell, John! Let Bezos know we're out here to bust the Union Busters!
We will not start Natalie Woods and Steve McQueen or Bullwinkle and Jr.
Alrighty, why don't we let somebody, Yane, do you want to, alright, John, Yane is going to take the next crack.
No, the revolution will not make you look 5 pounds thinner because the revolution will
Give him hell, Yane.
There will be no pictures of you and Willie Mae pushing that shopping cart down the block on the dead run or trying to slide that color TV into a stolen ambulance. NBC will not be...
John, Yane is going to get it started for you.
On report from 29.
We'll open you up.
The revolution will not be televised. There will be no pictures of pigs shooting down brothers on the instant replay.
There we go.
Pigs shooting down brothers on
This is the solidarity we need to bust the Union Busters.
the brand new process. There will be no slow motion on still life or Roy Wilkins.
You hear that, Bezos? Oh no! He's full of gold! He's full of money! Come on, folks, don't be shy! Expropriate his wealth!
They finally got down with Jane on Search for Tomorrow because black people will be in...
Let's give it up for John and Yane!
I love that.
Let it be known that today in Philadelphia, we busted the Union Busters.
Blowing her nose. The theme song will not be written by Jim Webb or Francis Scott Keys, nor sung by Glenn Campbell, Tom Jones, Johnny Cash, Engelbert Humperdinck, or The Rare Earth. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be right back after a message about a white tornado, white lightning, or white people.
Philadelphia,
You don't have to worry about a dove in your...
let's keep this momentum going.
in your toilet bowl. The revolution will not go...
And let's keep building for a socialist future for a workers' world.
You in the driver's seat.
And we know that when this successful union vote happens, we are going to keep fighting for a contract.
The revolution.
We are going to keep fighting to unionize every other Amazon facility, and we will not stop until we defeat capitalism, white supremacy, and imperialism.
Yeah.
Get home safe, folks.
Okay, guys. I want to thank you for tuning in. Sorry, guys.
I will organize with like poverty conditions in communities. My name is Bernard. I'm a volunteer with Eastern Service Workers. So all volunteer organization, non-government funded. And
No. I understand. I'm out of New York.
oh, okay, just came to film.
Well, I was coming through, and I'm not in New York to cover the actions going on there. So I did a quick search because I have to wait like 5 hours.
Okay.
I'm going to Minneapolis.
What part of New York are you out of?
New York City.
Okay.
If you know people in New York City in different groups like this, if you mention Apollo, they'll know who I am.
Okay.
Apollo was occupied, they'll know. Hey.
In the back of the truck for now.
This is actually a good action. 100% agree with it. I love the piñata with Jeff Bezos' face on it. That might be an idea for outside his house, or the place he owns in Manhattan as well. But yeah. Philadelphia, like New York in some ways, a lot of stuff is always going on. It's just about being around, and it's nice to see this actually happening. And talking about solidarity between the groups coming together, that's a big thing that needs to happen a lot more. Because what he was saying, it's sometimes it's an issue all over, but groups working together, I've been seeing that happening a lot more. But yeah, I'd agree when he was saying about May 1st. It's what I was saying a few weeks ago about for New York City May Day. It needs to be a really, really big day. But some people were also mentioning to me about spring training. I still believe that needs to happen. I've actually been looking at stuff from previous years to get an idea, but yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. I'm gonna check out, see what else may be going on, and beyond that, by the time it hits 7, at the Greyhound bus station, heading out to, I guess, Columbus, Ohio on the bus, and then Chicago, and then from there to Minneapolis Monday, and I should get into Minneapolis sometime around 5 a.m., and from there I'm going to head straight over to the courthouse. Ideally, the whole first part, the day I'll cover, and then anything else going on, and ideally Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I may head back Wednesday evening, if not Thursday morning. It just depends on prices and a bunch of other stuff. But thanks again. Solidarity forever. Thanks for everyone tuning in from all over the place. See you guys on the front lines. Love you all. Okay. I need to let this charge. I need to